We all have seasons in our business where we feel stuck, anxious, worried, and wonder what in the world is wrong with us. I wasn't feeling like this a while ago. I wasn't feeling this way a few months ago, last week, yesterday, but all of a sudden I feel very mired and stuck. I like the word stuckness because that's what it feels like. And then maybe you find yourself saying, I wish I could think straight. If I could just get clear on what my next step is, I need time to think about this big decision. There's a deadline looming that I need to make a decision about it. And when we're thinking that way and we're wishing I had time to think, why aren't we giving ourselves that time to think? Yes, we're all busy. Yes, we have things on our plate. But if we want to find clarity, we need to give ourselves the gift of space in order to find that clarity. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. Hello there, and welcome to the Selah Entrepreneur podcast, where we take a look at doing online business a little differently for women over 50. I'm your host, Marta Gertson, entrepreneur and business owner since 2008, and for far too long, I struggled with trying to figure out what I wanted to be when my business and I grew up. I was tired of buying all the courses and downloading all the freebies, all in the hope that the answer I was longing for would suddenly appear. Turns out, clarity doesn't come in an instant. It's a journey of discovery and finding answers layer by layer. As I took action, I learned what type of work I really loved to do, who I had fun serving, and the problems I loved to help them solve. That clarity gave me the confidence to start designing a simple, sustainable business that I could steward well, and I'd love to help you do the same. If you're ready to find the clarity you're longing for, then you're in the right place. Let's take this journey of discovery together. With our brains and our schedules moving so fast, it feels like all those plates you have spinning up in the air, and it feels like everything that you have on your to-do list, everything's going to fall apart if you take the time to stop. And that's often why we don't. Our bodies retain the tension of that, and it feel like we're stuck in fight or flight mode, or we're always feeling anxious, and we're not exactly sure why. And a lot of times because we are gripping on to this wild ride that we're on because we're not giving ourselves the gift of stopping, of slowing down. That's one of the things I love about my PACE method to business clarity. That very first step is to pause. That is the start of making space to find clarity. It's making space to think. It's making space to clear the decks, as I call it. If you find your shoulders are up by your ears, and if you feel your hands are really tight, or you find that your jaw is really tight and you're not sure exactly what it is, you need time to think. You need time to just breathe. You need time to just kind of let the to-do list go for a little bit and make the space to find the clarity and the time to think. When we're to that point, that is a signal that we often ignore when our bodies are screaming, I need a break. And that is the time that we need to create space to just be, not be constantly doing. To think and give our bodies a chance to catch up with our brains and our racing thoughts. We probably just need a moment to just sit and breathe for a few minutes. Too often we consider this type of stopping, of thinking, of visioning about our business and planning and reviewing that this is a luxury that other people have. I don't have the time for that. And this is a luxury that I wish I had time for. But I got to tell you, again, these are necessities. These are not luxuries, and they needed to be added to your calendar on a regular basis. And maybe it's just 10 or 15 minutes a day. Maybe it's having your goals written out and taking a look at those goals and just kind of keeping track. Where am I on these goals? What's going on? Other times you're going to need more time. You're going to need to dedicate a day, a half a day, a weekend to really thinking through your business along with regular rest breaks. So let's dive into what we mean by making space. And I've kind of given you a few ideas here, but back in episode 5, I shared 2 things that you could start doing today to help you find some business clarity. 1 is to brain dump, and 2 is to unsubscribe. A brain dump is taking a piece of paper and your favorite writing utensil, or if you are so inclined, using a Google Doc or some sort of word processor and just getting everything out of your brain. The appointments that you need to make, the client projects that you need to make decisions about, the marketing plans that you're trying to implement, but you can't even figure out what you want to say, programs that you're creating, the to-do lists that are just getting longer and longer and longer, and you need time to just get it out of your brain and give your brain a break. I call it clearing the decks. When you have a brain dump and you have all this information safely saved away, you have a place that you can go back and refer to, and it gives your brain a break. Oftentimes, my whole body will go, ah, thank you. I've been waiting for you to do that. I'm tired. The other thing is start unsubscribing. And the first thing to do is take a look at your inbox. Make it a challenge. How many people can you, or newsletters could you unsubscribe from today? Where's the conflicting information coming from? Where are the distractions? What are the things that are making you want to purchase something that you really don't need, but they're really good marketers and it's making you want it? What about the times where you just signed up for something real quick and all of a sudden they're sending you emails every day and it's just becoming a distraction and you feel the stress of not reading it and the number of emails in your inbox? You know what I mean. We've all been there. Unsubscribe. Start cleaning up that inbox. And one, you're spending way less time in your inbox, but two, it gives you space to think. And when you don't have all those distractions, clarity has a chance to come and grow. Unsubscribing can also mean unfollowing somebody from social media or just muting them for a while. If they're just in a launch season that is actually just a distraction, is not helpful. It could also be going to your list of Facebook groups and making it a goal to withdraw from half of them. Half of them you probably never go into anyway, and then some of them are just distractions. That's the first steps you can take, super easy steps you can to make space in your business, in your brain, in your life, so that you can start to give clarity time to grow. You need to create space to think, to dream, and oftentimes just to be instead of constantly doing. Entrepreneurs are very busy doers. And if you listen back to episode 12, the episode before this one, we talked about what it's like to live in the lies of busyness and entering that world of toxic hustle where everything is important, everything has to be done now. I asked you to define and spend time thinking, what does healthy productivity look like to you? Because what healthy productivity looks like to you is going to be different from what it looks like from me. It takes time and space to think about that and define it. I love the term visionary. This is coined by Andy Stanley, and he also wrote the book called Visionary, which I highly recommend. And it's about discovering and maintaining your personal vision, or in our case, our business vision. It's about creating a vision and holding space for it. It is about making time and space to go evaluate that vision. How is it working? How is it not working? What needs to be tweaked? What needs to be realigned? Have you changed? Has the vision changed? Has it grown? When we look at our to-do lists and our client work and our marketing, and when all the stuff that we need to get done, we need to take the time to evaluate it. Are we taking time to look at, are these really important? Do they even need to be on my list? Is this something I can give to one of my team members, or is this something I can refer to someone else? We have this habit of, again, from episode 12, I called it entrepreneur-itis, that if it needs to be done, it needs to be done by me, and it doesn't matter how long I've already worked this day, it has to get done. That's not healthy. And that kind of unhealthy productivity really pushes out our ability to think clearly, and we lose our clarity about our business and that clarity that so many of us are longing for. Another way to make space for finding clarity is to schedule regular reviews of your business on your schedule. I recommend at the very least quarterly, but it could be weekly, monthly, and yearly. And this is how you set aside time, specific time, to look at your business and how it's doing. This is how you find trends, how you find new ideas. This is how you look at ways, what's working in your business. And maybe it's time to streamline this process or let this process go. This is putting your brain to work on problem solving, troubleshooting, serving your clients better, and giving yourself permission to dream. This is what my business looks like right now. This is what I would like my business to look like in the future. But you have to give yourself time and space to do that. We also need to make space, and this is where a lot of times where clarity comes from, but we need to make space for inspiration. We need to make space to realign our work and our schedules to our priorities, to our core values, to our goals. We need to examine what needs to be learned, what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be changed, what needs to be let go of. And this could be done in quite a few different ways. And this depends on you and your preference. It could be journaling. It could just be time spent thinking. It could be pulling out a planner. It could be pulling out your wall calendar. It could be tracking things that you are stats in your business from what's working in your email marketing, what's working in your podcast, what's working in your social media. But if you don't make space to think about that, you're not going to get that inspiration. You're not going to understand if you're still in alignment with your goals and priorities. And you're not going to find ways to grow your business or design a business that works better for you and allows you to serve your clients even better. So this is what we're talking about when we're making space in our business. It is brain dumping. It is unsubscribing. It is taking time to visioneer, to engineer a vision for your business, and then make space to examine that vision on a regular basis by doing a weekly, a monthly, a quarterly, or a yearly review of your business. Because otherwise we get back into the doing. We get back into the thinking and pushing through until we are exhausted. If you want to design a business that works for you, that is more sustainable, that is way simpler than it is right now, you need to create time and space to think. And when you give yourself that gift, that is often when clarity can grow. I'd like to share a quote with you by the author, Andi Kolber. She wrote the book, Try Softer. And she said, and had shared this in social media a while back, and it just struck me in such a way that I saved it. But she said, deep thinking requires deep rest. And sometimes making space is resting. Making space is time to just to be, not do, or it's to give yourself a break from all the thinking and evaluating you have done and give yourself the gift of rest. That's something that I will always talk about here on the podcast, that rest is an action step and that is a gift, and it is something that needs to be on our schedule in an intentional way. And when you feel rested, you do think clearer. You do get more inspiration. And that is also another way that clarity can come and can grow. How clear are you about your business? What kind of clarity are you seeking? I would like to invite you to download my Business Clarity Assessment. This is a 3-step process to assess where you are in your business clarity journey. If you're ready to stop guessing about what's keeping you stuck and discover your next steps for your business, whether that be to grow, to pivot, or to make some changes, download the assessment, answer the questions, and go through the reflection section, and you'll gain some insight and get some clarity on what you need to do next. Isn't it time to design a business that you love and does not require you to burn the candles at both ends? Download the Business Clarity Assessment at selahstudios.co/assessment. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found some clarity or an aha moment that inspires you to take some action today. Before you go, could I ask a favor? I would really appreciate it if you could take a few seconds and leave a review of this show in the Apple Podcast app. Your review really does make an impact and helps spread the word about this show and gets it in the hands of other women who are looking to build simple and sustainable businesses of their own. Until next time.